Ladies and gentlemen, if you think he's a sick man, this guy's a real sick man. That's in his intro, man. This guy is a real sick dude here. But very, very funny. So that's what really qualifies you as a comedian. I don't care if he's a sick dude or not. He's a very good guy. Please give it up for Mr. Alan Carter.
Been up sooner, but I got a fucking blockade over here. Recently, I checked myself into rehab in an effort to save my job as a wine taster. But I learned a few things in rehab. They taught me that when I was cured, I didn't know when this would be, because my insurance had an expiration date. And when I was cured and was back on the job and was driving home that first day, I should choose a different path. They said my car would seem to have an autopilot that would automatically drive to the same bar I'd been going to for years, or automatically drive to the same liquor store. And I'm thinking, where was this autopilot when I got my fucking DUI? But I took their advice, chose a different way home, ended up driving down a block where they sell crack. Now I have a whole new set of friends. And a lot of cheap dates. Anybody here been in the 12-step program?
Yeah.
One person. The rest of you are too young to know you're fucked up. You're on your way. Personally, I never got to step 2. Step 1, admit you are powerless over alcohol. No problem, that's me. Step 2, acknowledge a higher power. Tequila! They go, no, we mean like God. I said, well, I'm an agnostic. I have problems with God. They said, well, God doesn't have to be your higher power. It can be anything. This doorknob can be your higher power. A tree can be your higher power. I said, look, when I came in here, I was drunk. I'll leave talking to trees. I don't see how this is progress. Then my little therapy group said, well, we can be your higher power. I said, no offense, but you people are pretty fucked up. We had an acrophobic flight attendant, a self-conscious stripper, and a preoperative transsexual. And they were the normal ones. I forgot where I am because the stage is vibrating. Anybody been to AA? If you haven't been in 12-step, you haven't been to AA. Anybody here in AA? No? Ever? Never? Heard of it? Yeah. To me, it's a lot like Sunday school, only with cigarettes, coffee, and swearing. They have the commandments on the wall. Shit like there's not a single problem drinking won't make worse. Unless you're like me, and your only problem is you missed last call and your fucking glass is empty. Everybody's wearing these little wristbands that say WWJD. Stands for what would Jesus do? He turned that pitcher of water into wine is what he fucking did. I remember the day they let me out. I said to the self-conscious stripper, remember her from back then? I said, I'm getting out of here today. She said, we got the same doctor. How'd you get a discharge? I said, I don't know. She said, I've been asking for a discharge all week. How'd you get a discharge? I don't get a fucking discharge. I said, relax. I didn't think you ladies needed a doctor. Unless you already had a discharge. The lunchroom was the wrong place to make that statement. Speaking of the food, even the flight attendant was complaining. See, my first wife was an alcoholic. She was drunk when I met her. Drunk when I proposed. Drunk for the 13 months we were together. The day she woke up sober, she looked at me and said, Joe, I want a divorce. I said, my name's Alan. Back to the dating scene. First girl I dated was deaf. Never figured out how to talk dirty to her in bed. Thought about using flashcards. It didn't seem practical. So I gave up. Just started saying all the really nasty things I've been too afraid to say to other girls. But the most interesting thing about sleeping with her, So she had no idea what she sounded like. Trust me, you haven't heard anything. So you've heard a deaf girl trying to fake an orgasm. She broke up with me. It was in the middle of having sex. We were in front of this huge mirror. Seems I forgot she could read lips. Then I dated he said I was sick. Did he say I was sick? And then I dated a vegetarian who didn't believe it was ethical to put meat of any kind into her mouth. I'd like to say our sex life sucked. I found it amusing on her birthday when, since she ate only plants, I gave her a plant that ate only meat. A Venus flytrap. And she converted the damn thing. And then it wouldn't blow me either. Dated a crack-smoking, born-again Christian who was into anal sex. Christian part bothered me. Nobody's perfect. She used to get wired, beg me to stick it where it hurts, and then pray that God would forgive her. By then I'd be in the shower. She followed me once, pulled back the curtain, and said, "Water will not wash away your sin." I said, "Maybe not. I'm pretty sure I get the skid marks off little Petey here." I never know how they're going to react. Sometimes they laugh. Sometimes they groan. It's a guy joke. Of course, I'm married again. We had an all-American wedding. We got our rings at Walmart. I was away from my wife recently, and I realized you've been away from your wife too long when you're masturbating and fantasizing about her. She's here tonight for the first time watching me perform, so I'll be fantasizing later too. My sex life is pretty boring. I know this because I once worked in an adult bookstore. After hearing me talk, I know you're shocked. Like the stores they have out here on the block, I'm sure some of you are familiar with this. Anyway. What cracked me up was what we sold in this store. They were jokes in and of themselves. We had what I call the body parts section. For the guy who can't afford the blow-up doll, he can buy the part of the female anatomy that most suits him. We sold a collection of mouths. Just the lips and the tongue. Throat attachment. Handheld. Came in 3 types. The Caucasian model, the ebony model, and for the discerning gay male, the mustache model. Which also works if you're straight but like Italian women. You're standing up there like you've been giving me the light and I haven't been seeing it. Yeah? Can I do one more?
Go ahead.
One more sicker? Can you handle it? Are you drunk enough?
No, just go ahead.
Was downloading some porn on the internet. And again, that shocks you, I'm sure. There was a little movie clip, I didn't know what it was, didn't say what it was, I figured I'd take a look. Quite frankly, I was shocked. There before me was one of the most beautiful women I'd ever seen in my life. Naked. Couldn't have been a day over 19 years old. She was having sex with a German Shepherd. Doggy style. What kind of sick fucking world do we live in, people, when a dog is getting a better looking piece of ass than me? I'm out of here, that's my time.